welcome to another episode of the Tampa Bay Real Producers Podcast. This, of course, is the podcast that is made for real producers, by real producers, and with none other than Tampa Bay's real producers, such as our guest today, Lei Cheng. Hey, Lei, how are you?
Good. How are you, Don?
I'm doing well. It's good to have you on the show today. Excited to dive into your story. We had the pleasure of meeting Lei at our MVP social not that long ago because Lei was featured as a rising star in our 2023 September issue of Tampa Bay Real Producer. So was that the first time you were put in a magazine before, man? Was that your first experience with that?
Yes.
It was.
First time, yes. Okay.
Lei, we're going to dive into a story, but your background is as a computer programmer.
Yes.
And it's a really impressive, some of the stuff that Lei has done on the real estate side. We're going to dive into some of your numbers and all that fun stuff. But what was it like to get featured as a rising star? Was it a good experience?
Yes, very, very good experience. Yeah, this is the first time to put me in, see my own face in the magazine. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I know we had some fun hanging out at the MVP social. We
Right.
appreciate you coming out. So for people who don't know you, let's just start with a little bit of your background and your story. I know you didn't grow up in Tampa Bay. So where did you grow up? How did you get here in Tampa Bay? And tell us a little bit about how long you were in computer programming. And then, of course, eventually, what got you interested in real estate? So we'll start there.
Sure, yeah. I was born and grew up in China, so I had my college and even my first master degree in computer science in China. So I went to the school, Florida State University in 2001 as a PhD student. But I did not finish my PhD. I got my second master degree in computer science. Yeah, and at that time I was in a computer vision lab doing some research about computer programming, algorithm, computer vision design, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So after I got my second master degree from Florida State University, I got a job in Maryland. So at that time, because of family reason, my wife was a PhD student at the University of Maryland, College Park. So she was studying there, so I got a job over there. So after she got her PhD degree in 2007, and we moved back to Florida. We moved to Tampa because she got the faculty job at the University of South Florida.
Nice.
And
did you meet your wife at school, or did you meet her in China?
In China.
You did?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, when we were in college, long time ago.
So did she go to FSU as well with you, or no?
She was in FSU for only one year or one semester,
Okay.
and then she transferred to University of Maryland.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first, when we first moved from China to the U.S., the FSU is our first destination. Yeah, we studied there I studied there for like 2.5 years.
Were you already married?
Yeah, at that time
You were?
already
Okay.
married. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we moved back to Florida in Tampa in 2007.
Yep.
At that time, my first job here is at the University of South Florida as a computer programmer. Mm-hmm. So I worked there for about 7 years, and then I moved to Murphy Cancer Center. So I worked in Murphy Cancer Center for another 6 years before I finally quit my full-time job and being a realtor full-time in 2020.
Now, were you always interested in real estate, Lei, or did that, as you were a computer programmer, or like, where did this interest in real estate come about?
I started to do the real estate investment from 2009 when the market was really low.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started, even when I was working full-time, sometimes when I drive around, I see the sign, and also the internet said the bubble, the market crash, all those kind of things. It gave me the idea, maybe it's time to do some real estate investment.
Sure.
So I started to, get a realtor to show me the house in 2009. So I started to purchase a few in 2010.
Okay.
So at that time,
Were you purchasing them as rentals?
as rentals.
So you were long-term holds and just putting long-term tenants in there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So I work full time, even in the lunch break time or after work. I go to show the property, show the tenants, even doing some fix up myself.
Yep.
That's how I started my real estate investment.
Makes sense. A lot of people, I think, that's when they think of real estate, if they have a career, they kind of view it as, it would be a good investment, and they kind of do it as a long-term rental thing. That's probably the most common path, I would say, for investors. Right. So at some point, as you were starting to do that, did you start thinking, you know what, this could be a real career for me? How did that happen?
Exactly, yeah. So I have been doing this, manage my own rental student investment for almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Many of my friends that ask my opinion when they want to buy a house or when they want to find a handyman, plumber. They always say, hey, do you have some, handyman to refer to me?
Yeah.
So gradually it's getting more and more people around me that ask me those questions.
Yeah.
Many times they ask my opinion, say, do you have other realtors to refer to me? I refer the business to some other realtor, to my own realtors. Then I realized, maybe it's time I should, start the real estate career myself. So I got the license in early 2018. Yeah. So after I got my license, I still work full time at the Murphy Cancer Center. My last job at the Murphy, I was a supervisor in business intelligence and data analytics team. So
wow.
we work on the data. I also manage a few people in the team, programmers, and also the data analysis people. Yeah.
Do you feel like any of your background with understanding data, right? And just seeing, because I mean, real estate also has a lot of data.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it has a lot of metrics that you can monitor and make decisions based on that, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Do you feel like your background as a computer programmer or data analyst has helped you at all in the real estate world?
Very helpful to my career.
Yeah. In what ways?
If I look back and people say, you quit your job, you have been working in the IT computer program for 16 years. Does it really benefit to the current job, the career?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I look back, I think it really helped me a lot in several things. One is, even for now, in the last few years, I built some automatic workflow to help me to improve the efficiency in the transaction. I built something in Excel and also pass the data into my transaction coordinator. So that's I built something in-house myself. I think that helped me a lot to track each. I know there are some commercial tools or software to do that as well.
Yeah.
But I get used to the thing I build for myself, for my team. That's my computer programming. It helped me to improve the whole process.
I would love to see a Lei Cheng spreadsheet.
Yes, we do have.
That seems like it would be a work of art right there.
Exactly. Yeah, I do call it called the master sheet.
A master sheet
that has
yes.
all those transactions, and when I click a button, it passes to my transaction coordinator. So I don't have to collect all those documents and pass to we use a Dropbox, all those things to help the whole workflow.
I have a lot of spreadsheets myself that we use for various things, but I would consider myself probably a layman, especially compared to someone like you, on how to because I mean, spreadsheets are pretty powerful if you know what you're doing, right? There's all different sorts of formulas and different ways you can try to make it almost work automated.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that you have a pretty science behind your recipe there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it did help a lot.
You got licensed in 2018. And that's why we featured you as a rising star, because you've been licensed for about 5 years now. And when you got licensed, did you dive right into the retail residential market, or was it still more on the investment rental home focus?
Because most of my clients, they are investors at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. They know I have quite some rental properties already. They ask my opinion when they want to search for some house. So my first group of clients are all investors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they wanted to do what you were doing.
They want to follow what I'm doing. They think I bought a pretty good deal. Can you help me to find some good deal?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in 2018, my first group of clients, I just go to search some really good investment and made the offer, and also help them how to manage those rentals. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And were you managing them too at the time?
Yeah.
You were?
Yeah.
Okay. So I know we're going to get to your brokerage that you started, which is called Rently.
Right.
And you've really built now a very extensive portfolio on rental property. I think you said you have over 500 doors. Is that right?
Right. For now, we have a little bit over 500 rentals. We me and my team manage.
Yep.
Pretty much most of them are in Tampa Bay area.
Yep.
And some are in Orlando. And also some in Sarasota. Yeah.
Single family homes mostly?
Single family homes, home and a townhome.
Townhomes and single
family. A few condos.
Yeah.
No apartment. Yeah.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
So those of you who might not be familiar with Lei's results, I mean, we were just talking off camera. Was last year your best year in real estate?
Last year, actually 2021 is even better than 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, the market started to cool down from the mid 2022.
Yep.
Once the interest
But you
rate
still did over 100
over
units
100.
last year
Yeah,
as an individual producer. So, you know, Lei has proven we haven't talked to that. We've obviously interviewed a lot of top producers here on the show, and there's not many of them that have done over 100 deals in 1 year individually. Like, it's one thing to do it as a team, right? Collectively, which is something that we've seen.
Yeah.
But there's a couple that I could think off the top of my head that have done 100 plus as an individual agent. And that shows your hustle, your desire, your work ethic, and you know how you've worked hard at building up your clientele, doing over $40 million, you know, in volume as well. So that's very, very impressive numbers, Lei, for somebody who again hasn't even been in real estate that long, even though you have been investing, I guess, for over a decade in that space. Now that you are also doing traditional real estate.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Normal retail real estate, helping people buy and sell homes.
Yeah, residential. Yeah.
What do you enjoy more? Do you like the investment side more? Do you like the working on the retail residential side? Do you like them both for different reasons?
I think work for in different time. I'm enjoying different, type of real estate.
Yeah.
Like in the last few years, when the interest rate was really low, that's the time, you know, when you find some really good investment, you get a 7%, 8% return for your client. They are happy and you are happy. You think you are doing some really cool and good things for the client. You know, they put 20, 25% down, they got constantly 7 to 8% return. So you feel they got really, doing some right
smart
thing.
investment. Yeah.
Yeah. And then nowadays, because the interest rate is going high, so many of those investors just stopped, buy with mortgage.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the last 1 year, I helped quite many the retired people that moved from north, from California, New York, New Jersey, Boston. They moved to Tampa.
Yeah.
So I started to switch a little bit from helping the investors and to the people that really needed to buy a home as their retirement home.
Yep.
So now I feel more enjoyable when I show the community, show the properties to people that want to move here. Once they get one close, they moved in, they start to buy furniture and call it as a home. They invite you to their housewarming party.
Yeah.
You feel that they're really enjoying this home. They appreciate for the home you find for them.
Yeah, that's cool. So it is different, right? It's a different experience. Because it's not just about the numbers, right? It's not just dollars and cents and what's my return on investment, what's my cash on cash return. Like, I understand that whole world.
Right.
Now it's more of the emotional, my lifestyle, right? Am I enjoying my house? Do I like the neighborhood? Am I meeting friends? Especially for people like you said that are retired, moving here to kind of enjoy their golden years, right?
Exactly,
it's a very different experience, I would imagine. So it sounds like you've enjoyed both, but you're enjoying helping out on the residential side and really feeling like you're making a difference for people.
Yes.
Is that fair?
Yes, especially for the people retired that moved from other states that don't have friends yet.
Yeah.
I form a social media group.
Yeah.
And for people that moved from other states that they can meet each other, I host some parties to invite them all together. Like last time we had a party in one of my clients' house. They moved from California. They bought a big mansion with a big backyard. We invited all those people from my clients from other states get together, had some big party, so they know each other.
Yeah.
So they can hang out together, go to the dance group, and go all kinds of activities.
Got to get dancing if you're retired, right? You got single people. You got some single retired people and trying to single and mingle, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's one thing I feel. I'm helping people to find their dream home, so they can enjoy the home in the next many years.
Yeah. Of course, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming throughout these years, even though you've been adding more of the retired community, the demographic, you've consistently kept working with investors too, right?
Yes.
Because to get to 500 doors that you're managing, has that just kept growing, annually? Is that how has that growth happened?
The last 2 years that grew, significantly.
Okay.
Yeah, because last 2 years, somehow I feel many investors from other states, they started to know Tampa. So before like before 2020, before COVID, and the people in the other states that know Orlando, know Miami, Tampa, all they know the name, but not a lot, not familiar with much. Yeah, but since COVID, I feel like many people, even from Zillow and Redfin, some reports that keep saying, Tampa is the number one growing city in the real estate. They increase, the rate like 20%, 30% increase.
Right.
And every day, 150 people move to Tampa Bay area. There are some data like that. So when you make a presentation to your client, you show those data, and people started to understand, to know Tampa more and more. So I feel like from 2020, many investors that started to invest in Tampa Bay area. That's how we, have the customers that buy here and started to build up the management, the base for this volume. Yeah.
How many different investors do you have as clients that make up those 500 doors?
About a little bit, I think over 300 clients.
Okay. So so most of them are just private people, private money people, that maybe have one or two doors, right?
One or two doors,
whether that's a single family home or two. It's not like you're dealing with 10 investors that are big REITs.
No. Not a big risk.
Yeah, managing multiple things. So it's a lot of onesie twosies basically, right?
Right. Yeah. Some investors that buy like 7 or 8 homes. At that time, in 2020, 2021, a townhouse is a little bit over 200,000. Yeah. Single family house 300, 350. Yeah. So if they use a mortgage, they just support 25% down. Right. They can get a pretty good return at that time.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
Right.
Now you started your own brokerage this year.
Yeah.
I think you said it was in May, right?
May.
Yep. Rentley Home. You were with Piney Woods previously, and I know we've actually interviewed some people who also were in the Piney Woods brokerage, and so you decided to open up your own brokerage, Rentley Home. Now, is that the brand that you use for both the property management side and the residential real estate, or is there a distinction there?
Just use the same brand. Yeah.
Same thing.
Same brand.
Okay, so you manage all of the 500 units through Rentley Home.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you still, help homeowners find homes, same brand, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know, are you building your team? Are you recruiting other agents and stuff?
Yes.
How many do you have now?
Currently, I have 7 agents working in my brokerage firm. Yeah.
7 agents.
Yeah, 7 agents.
And are they focused more on the residential side or on the property management?
Both. Some more focus on buy and sell. Some focus on just property management only.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you look for in an agent when you're trying to figure out who you want to bring on your team?
When they talk to me, I had some conversation with the agent. I wanted to see if they are responsible, reliable, and let's say when we have a meeting, an interview, come on time, I want to see if their personality, if they can help people. If you are just always commission driven, I don't foresee you can do well in this business.
Yeah,
you have to have the right way, to help people, on the right track to work on this.
You got to have that servant heart, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because it's a service-based business.
Service-based business. Yeah. Because most of, if I look back in the last 5 years, many of my clients are coming from referrals. Yeah. So if you do well, helping one customer well, they will refer more and more. One bring two more customer, 2 bring 4 bring 8.
Yeah.
So it's growing like that. If you cannot do well in one customer, they are not going to refer the new customers for you anymore. Yeah.
And I think that's true. Definitely true on the investor world, right? Because if you can help someone get a solid return on their investment and they feel really cool about your style of managing their property, their investment, I'm sure one investor has other investor buddies, right?
Yeah.
Who also are interested in the same returns.
Yeah.
So that makes a lot of sense. And then I guess even in you mentioned earlier, the retirement demographic.
Yeah.
Hey man, if you can help some retired people hit the dance club and
exactly. Yeah.
Why wouldn't they tell their friends about you, right?
Exactly. Yeah. What I find out, one family that retired moved here. they will bring their friends to move together, even in the same neighborhood.
Yeah,
Whatever
of course.
they want to stay together, they can still, have parties and, visit each other in the same community by walking. Yeah,
no doubt.
They used to live in in Boston for 20 years all together in the same neighborhood. Their kids all grew up together.
Right.
Now they are retired, so they still want to hang out together in the same city, same neighborhood.
Bring them all down, man. Have a party in Florida.
Yeah,
it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Do you miss the computer programming career at all, or do you feel like this has been a passion and you love what you do?
I love what I'm doing. Yeah, I sometimes I miss what I was doing before, but now I see whatever you experience that 16 years is not a waste of time. So it still help what you are doing. I always think what I learned before, what I have worked before, how can that benefit what I'm doing? Yeah. For example, even when I work at the USF, I build some application to find the USF alumni. Let's say the USF has a football game in North Carolina.
Yeah.
So they always want to invite alumni to that party before the football game.
Yeah.
Right.
Tailgating.
So, tailgating.
Yeah.
I built some tools to find out there's a nearby 50 miles all the alumni in that football game. And because the USF, they have their the contact information, so they can group send the email to invite them.
That makes sense.
Right. So I use a similar idea. When I work on those the property management, find the handyman plumber.
Yeah.
So I use the similar algorithm, similar idea to find the nearby provider, nearby plumber.
And that's a good transition to your new app, right? Because we just talked about how Lei is an entrepreneur, as you can tell, at heart, because it's funny too. You think about, at least maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's almost a stereotype that if someone is a computer programmer, they're not an entrepreneur, right? Like they're just wired to look at data. They're an employee mindset, and that's how they get paid. But you have taken the skills from that career and have made it helpful in the real estate world. But also now you're a true entrepreneur in many ways, because you're building up this new app that I want the audience to know about, which is designed to help small business providers, right? Home-based providers get quicker access to customers who need their services, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about this new app that you built out and what your vision for it is.
Right. The idea came from a few years ago. At that time when I even work full-time, I managed my own rentals. Sometimes when my tenant call me, they said, "Oh, there's a water leak, or there's some plumbing issue, or AC stopped working." For all those kind of urgent requests, I always needed to, stop what I'm doing and make some phone calls, call this plumber, call that AC man. Many times those the AC man and also plumber, they are very busy. Their daily schedule is already fully booked. I needed to keep calling several people. Many times also needed to schedule for the second day appointment. The tenant wouldn't feel good if they cannot get the AC fixed on the same day.
Yep.
So I came up with the idea to use like Uber's idea into on-demand home service. What if, many times in a community, like 1,000 homes in this community, if you have a plumbing issue today, I'm pretty much sure that probably there's another plumber working in this community or in the neighborhood, in the other community nearby.
Yeah.
You just don't know there's a plumber over there.
Right.
You still need to make phone calls and schedule the appointment for tomorrow. And the same thing for that plumber. Maybe the plumber is just next door fixing up something, almost finished this job. But that plumber does not know there's another job just nearby. Probably only take 10-15 minutes. They can fix that problem.
Right.
So you can see the plumber and the air conditioning man, the service provider, they always need to drive a lot every day from job A to job B, job C, because those A, B, C jobs are already scheduled, 1 day or 2 days before.
Right, and they rely on their headquarters, usually if they're with an organization, to try to book those jobs, for them. And you're right. I mean, they may or may not be good at booking them to maximize the efficiency, right?
Exactly.
Maximize the time.
Yeah.
So a lot of times they probably are doing a job in the morning in this area and then have to drive all over town to be able to get to the second job. It makes sense. Yeah.
Right.
So your app is designed to try to fix that.
Try to fix that, yeah. So if that service provider install this app, so we can track, we know where the location is. If this plumber is working in this community, okay, when I have a plumbing issue, I bring this app, I take some pictures and submit this job. Even before I submit this job, I can search the map to see, oh, there's a plumber just right in this same community, just like 200 feet away.
Yeah.
Why not? I just contact this plumber and to see if he has time to come over now. Yeah. Once you take the video and the picture, submit this job, probably once they see this, the problem, they know how much time they can do this.
And then
job.
they can bid on it.
They can bid on it.
Yeah.
So this can save the service provider a lot of time driving. So I put the slogan for this app. I call it a rental home on demand service. Okay. The slogan I call it less driving, more jobs, more money. So that's my goal. Wanted to see.
That's a good slogan.
Yeah. If I can change the industry in the home service provider business, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Can I give you a tip?
Yeah.
I would drop the driving part. Just have it be, or I'm sorry, I would keep that. Less driving, more money.
Less driving, more money. Exactly. Yeah.
Simple, right?
Simple.
Less driving, I would drop the more jobs and just do less driving, more money.
Right.
Yeah.
What I was thinking before is many times when I call a plumber, the plumber said, oh, I just came from St. Petersburg, so I live in New Tampa.
Yeah.
So that's like a 45 minutes driving. They just jump from one job to job.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe every day they can only do 4 or 5 jobs like that, right? 3-4 hours they are driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
With
doubt.
this app, they can
And they're
find
not
the
getting
job.
paid for that time.
Yeah. So
Right.
that's the whole
It's a genius idea. So, I mean, once again, going back to your skill set there as a computer programmer and the things you learned, being able to take those skills, creating another solution for that could be a game changer, I think, actually, in the service provider space. I mean, it's genius, right? So it just goes to your entrepreneurial heart and what you're providing there. So I wish you all the best with that. Hopefully we can help get the word out a little bit. I know it's not out yet. It's beta, right?
It's a beta test.
Yes.
Yeah. So in 1 or 2 months, I think I should be able to launch in the App Store.
Yep.
So at that time, I may want to advertise in the service provider to have more homeowners know this, because I need to have both sides online at the same time.
Yep.
Yeah. You need to have, let's say in Tampa Bay area, we have 100 plumbers, 100 AC companies they register on the app,
right.
And once the homeowner they bring, even not just a homeowner, even many property managers, or if some people homeowners that manage their rentals in some other place, they can still bring the app and to find if there's a plumber right next to their rental properties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it's just about a game of getting users, right?
Getting users.
Like how do you get the user rate up so that
Right.
the app has value?
Right.
And that's really the name of the game with that type of a product. But it sounds like something that would be very useful.
Yes.
It makes a lot of sense. So cool.
Thank
Best
you.
of luck with that. Maybe we'll have to have you back on the show once you blow it up, man.
Okay.
And see how that's shaking out.
Okay.
For people who might not know you that much, personally, Lei. So what do you love to do for fun? What keeps you busy?
In the last 2 years, extremely busy, just work and work and work.
Yeah.
Okay.
No time for fun, huh?
No much time for fun. Yeah. For nowadays, I feel the market has been changed a little bit. So the buy and sell business is slowing down.
Yeah.
So I have some extra time, to spend more time with my family and the kids. Yeah.
And you're married. You have 2 boys.
I have 2 boys.
How old are they again?
15 and 12.
Okay.
Yeah,
Are they a genius like you in the computer world or no?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
They play tennis, basketball, and play cello, play piano.
Nice.
Now I have more time to drive them around, to send them to the studio, to the basketball court, tennis court.
Yeah.
So I
Is
feel
your
like
wife working? Is she career still?
Right.
Is your wife working too?
Right. My wife is still a full professor at the USF.
She's a professor at USF. Okay.
Professor, yeah. She's also busy, needed to teach a class and also have some doctoral or master students needed to, to guide them.
Yeah. Very cool. So when the family just wants to relax, what's your favorite thing to do?
We go travel a lot.
Travel?
Yeah. Yeah,
Your favorite place to go?
Like this summer, we went back. I grew up in China. We all grew up in China, but my kids were born here in the U.S. Yeah, so we went back to China and visit my parents, our brothers, sisters. So I spent in China for 1 month.
Nice. Most of your family is there still?
Yeah, most of my family members are still
What
there.
part of China did you grow up in?
It's you know, the capital is Beijing,
Yeah.
and Shanghai is also another big city.
Yep.
So my hometown is in Anhui province. It's right in between, in the middle. Yeah.
Now, is your wife from the same area?
Very close in another different province. Yeah.
Okay. And you guys met out there and got married out there?
Right. Yes. Before we moved to the.
Was that like a growing up sweethearts or what? You guys knew each other from a young age?
From college.
From college. Okay.
From 18, 19 years old. Yeah.
What do you feel like is the biggest difference from living in China versus America?
You know, in China, I don't have a working experience at that time. I just was always at a school.
Yeah,
is always stay in the dorm, hang out with college mates. Yeah, so you know, the population in China is huge.
Yeah,
yeah. So in the one dorm, we have 6 or 7 buddies stay in the same dorm. Lots of fun, different fun. You know, at that time is you are single. You know, you hang out with all your friends.
Right.
And you don't need to drive a car. When you go somewhere, you just ride a bicycle or take the bus. Okay, it's very convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here
public transportation is everywhere.
Transportation is everywhere.
How many billion people live in China?
I think 1.4 billion.
1.4 billion people in China.
Yeah.
Wow, it's amazing.
Right.
And it's such a huge country. I mean, have you even been to most of the country of China before?
Actually, not that much. Yeah, because
Really?
I was always at a school. You know, study, no money to travel around.
Right.
Yeah. So for now, then after I moved to the U.S., every time if we go back to visit my family, so we arrange some travel time together with the family. Yeah.
And so, does your family have an intent to want to come to the States too, or they're content staying there?
They will stay.
They like there.
Yeah, they have their own. You know, my brother, sister, they have their own career, their job there, and their kids also grew up already. Yeah, graduated from college already. So that's that's.
What was it? Just school that brought you here? That was the motivation.
Yeah,
at the time.
Got the admission and the full scholarship from Florida State University in computer science program.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I got it here. Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Okay, a couple rapid fire questions as we put a bow on our episode here in a few minutes. But if you had to pick a book or an author or a seminar, maybe, excuse me, that has made an impact on you personally or professionally, what do you think it would be?
Back to even 15 years ago, I really think Rich Dad and Poor Dad helped my mindset a little bit. You know,
one of my favorites too.
Right. Yeah. So when you work full time from 9 to 6 every day with a W-2 paycheck. The first few years in your career, you're doing this, you're enjoying doing the W-2 job, right? So after the 6 o'clock at night in the weekend, you have your own free time, right? But when you getting older and older, when you have kids growing up, you start to think, oh, when I can get the financial freedom? When can I retire earlier to have my own free time?
Yeah.
So you start to think, oh, maybe it's time I should do something and to build up my passive income and to choose some other career I really enjoy to grow up or to build up my asset quickly so I can have my financial freedom sooner, can retire sooner. So you started to think about that from maybe when you're in your mid-30s, something like that. Yeah.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah, I read it when I was 19.
Oh, really?
And that's what really got me thinking very differently about, I mean, I never had anybody teach me about what a real asset versus a liability is, growing up. My parents just middle class, they just never really invested in real estate or other things. And I was exposed to that book by a friend who recommended it in one of my mentors really. And it changed my mindset too and helped me realize, I guess we actually bought the cash flow game. Have you seen that game before that he talks about in the book? So Robert Kiyosaki created a board game, kind of like Monopoly, but it's called Cash Flow.
Yeah.
And we have it at our house, so we play it with the kids, and we started playing Monopoly with the kids first, just to kind of teach them some of the basics about money. But then the Cash Flow game goes into even more detail about like cash flow, right? And real investments. So it's a cool game. It'd be something I'm sure your boys would love too.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be worth playing with them. So that's cool. I can see that. Yeah, no doubt. Have you ever met Robert Kiyosaki?
No.
I met him once.
Really?
At an event. He spoke at a wealth expo.
Oh, okay.
That I had a pleasure of going to, and he gave a keynote message, and we had a chance to shake hands, take a picture with him. So
nice.
Yeah, definitely
So
cool. He's built a great empire with that that brand.
It changed million people's mindset. Yeah.
Absolutely,
right.
No doubt. I heard about it, and for many years now, I feel like that's a book that has reached a lot of people for sure. What's your favorite TV show or movie? Do you have one?
If for the movie, I think when I was still in China, I watched the movie Forrest Gump. Yes, that's 20 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, classic.
Classic. Yeah, I watched that movie at least 10 times. Yeah.
How could you not love Forrest Gump, right? I love it.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a classic.
Yeah.
One of the best comedies out there, I think.
Right. It seems like as long as you work persistently, okay, you always can achieve your dream in the future. Yeah.
He was successful in everything that he did, right?
Yeah.
Even though he was a fictional character, but I love the character.
Right.
It still makes a lot of sense.
This year, I showed that movie to my kids, one of them to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, to learn something from that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Did they learn something?
No matter how you're smart or you are not that smart, as long as you work hard on the right track, you find that you can go to what you wanted to do. Yeah. So
I didn't bring this up, but when you came over, did you speak English when you came to America?
At that time, we in China, before we came, we only learned like how to do the grammar and how to write, and not much like speaking English, not oral English.
So was that a hard thing for you to be in America, college, and not really speak English very well? I mean, did you get a lot of grief for that, or how was that transition for you?
Right. The first 1 year is very struggling. Yeah. In the class, the professor that teaches the class, you don't understand every single word. Sometimes you need to, after the class, you need to group study with other students and ask them help, to understand some part of that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Good thing is for computer science, many times, even though you don't understand completely, you can still, learn by yourself, do some coding, programming yourself to learn from the real practice.
Right.
Yeah. But the first year is really struggling. We went to some language class after school, and the university provided some opportunities for international students to learn.
Did you have friends from China too that you knew, or so people you met at school that also had a similar experience?
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's helpful, I would imagine. But yeah, I mean, sometimes we just take for granted, because I can imagine if I had to move my whole life to China, okay. I would feel lost, and how I would easily transition into that would not be the easiest thing in the world. So I mean, that in and of itself speaks to your desire to to learn and to grow in a new way. So I think that's cool. So we're gonna wrap up with a couple last things. One is what I call our legacy question, right? So I always find it fascinating to think about. You're an entrepreneur. You got this new app you're about to launch. You're still growing your portfolio. Someday you're going to sit back, Lei, and look back and think about, what you are most proud of, or hopefully what you might want to be remembered for, right? From a legacy perspective. And if you think about that, what do you think is going to be most important to you that you would want to be most remembered for when that day comes?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a big question.
It is.
Yeah. If I want to look back, at that time, I want, my clients to remember me as, Lei is a nice person. He's a reliable, responsible and honest person. That is a person not just doing business, can be a long-time friend.
Yeah.
So I want my clients to remember me like that. Yeah. No matter from my clients from investment side or those people moved here retirement side, they think, Lei is a guy we can hang out with, can stay together for years, being a friend.
Right.
Yes, I want them to be remember me like that. Yeah.
Well, I think since I've met you, I think that your personality and your smile is contagious, right?
All
so I
right,
could see why people would want to hang out with you and view you as a friend. You're very friendly, and I could see why your customers and clients would trust you as well. And it sounds like you've been able to do a great job of helping them get the returns they're looking for and build up their business. So I applaud you for that. We're going to put a bow on our episode, but if somebody wants to reach out to you, Lei, just to pick your brain or maybe even work with you, or maybe an agent who loves what you've talked about here, maybe somebody who might want to invest with you, what's the best way for someone to reach you?
They can just go to my website, rentlyhome.com.
Okay.
There's a contact phone number or email over there.
Cool.
Yeah. So, that's my office number.
Yeah.
Okay, actually. Yeah. If somebody calls that, they can, reach out to me. Yeah.
Yeah. So rentlyhome.com.
Yeah.
We'll put that link up on our description as well.
Okay.
So people can see that on the episode. Okay. But we're going to end this episode the way we do every episode, which is with a challenge, right? So our goal here is that every time you take the time to listen to one of these episodes, there's some action step that you can take from this that's going to help move you forward in a professional or a personal way. From our conversation today, maybe you're somebody who's interested in investing and you want to build up your portfolio and build your own path to financial freedom. Lei has been able to do that himself. He's also helped a bunch of other clients and investors do that. So maybe you just need to have a conversation with Lei or someone like Lei that can help you put your strategy together. Maybe you need to read Rich Dad Poor Dad, that Lei talked about. Or maybe you're somebody who also is an agent who might want to even partner up with his brokerage or talk to him more about some of the stuff he dove into today. Whatever it might be, take an action step from this conversation that's going to make the time you watched it worth it. And if you do that, then you're going to find yourself setting on the path of becoming a real producer yourself. So thanks for joining us here on today's episode. We will see you, of course, on the next one. And stay classy out there, guys. We'll see you then.